he would step across the line. Habitually. He's a habitual line stepper.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Whoa, whoa.
Cut it. Cut that shit the fuck off. Big trade deadline news, baby. Big trade deadline news. Let's go.
He liked to cut it. Just like Terry, weren't they from Houston? Wasn't the group who did the cut it from Houston?
I have no idea.
Oh, all right.
I really don't.
This is a wild transition game, kind of like James Harden's. To James Harden coming from Houston. James Harden, the prize of the NBA trade deadline, Terry. He was traded in the umpteenth hour of the last day. Daryl Morey, he sat there like an old white lady getting robbed on the train, clutching his Ben Simmons pearls, Terry, until the final moment where he had to let him go. And you know what? He got his superstar.
He did, bro. Daryl Morey finally got his boy back. And the most important thing is, everybody who bet Ben Simmons that wasn't going to play, you lost all your fucking money. You're fucked. I'm fucked.
Whoa, ho,
stop the presses.
Terry, are you suggesting that all of Ben Simmons' mental health issues are suddenly going to get resolved as soon as he moves to Brooklyn? Are you saying that there's something in the water in the city of Philadelphia that causes mental health issues? And just by crossing not the Mason-Dixon line, but the Erie Lake line, he going to be cured of all that?
Yeah, man. Too much brotherly love. Not enough sisterly love. You know what I'm saying?
We got a lot of dykes in Philly.
But now you know exactly what's going to happen, man. He's going to play for Brooklyn, and Brooklyn's going to be looking spicy, dude. Brooklyn's going to be looking spicy offensively and defensively. It's going to be a problem. Who do you think's going to win the East?
Wait, you're as usual, Terry. No foreplay. Yeah, my goodness. Can you take me out to dinner? Can I order an appetizer first before you just stick it in my ass? Can you kiss on the back of my earlobes, Terry?
No.
Let's start at the beginning. Let's start all the way at the beginning.
All right, go ahead.
With a young man named Jimmy Harden. Now, Jimmy Harden played for a team called the Oklahoma City Thunders, but we're not going to call him Jimmy Harden for the rest of this podcast. We're going to call him the male Brittany Renner. Why are we going to call him the male Brittany Renner, Terry? Well, because he fucks teams everywhere he goes. Just like P.J. Washington, Brittany Renner was like, hey, I'm down to ride, man. You know I'm a real one. All you got to do is give me this ring, and I'll be yours forever. And you and I can be king and queen building our dynasty. Yup, that's what they thought in Houston. And then he was like, you know what? Actually, this ain't really working out. I think we're going to need to get another guy in here to make this relationship work. I think we need to bring Chris Paul into this relationship so we all can be happy. So the three of us can be happy. I think we need another man. So then Chris Paul comes in. Dwight Howard goes out. Don't get it done. He goes 2 for 11 in the playoffs in a game 7 or whatever. All right. You know what? Fuck that other dude who came in. He fucked up our chemistry anyway. Okay. It wasn't our fault that we brought a third man to the bedroom. Ended up getting jealous and arguing over shots, who's shooting where. No. It's all on him. We need some fresh blood in here. We just need a new third wheel. Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is the man I need in my life to make me happy.
Horrible decision.
One year later, Russell Westbrook is in D.C. and James Harden is intentionally turned the ball over 13 times a game so that he can get traded to the Brooklyn Nets. Last summer, the Brooklyn Nets, they trade for him. They know Harden's history. They've seen the history of child supports that he's coached out of OKC, out of Houston, how he did Dwight Howard, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook dirty twice. Oh, yeah. He did Russell Westbrook dirty twice.
2 times. 2 times.
You know what?
He two-faced his ass.
It don't matter what it says in the comments at World Star. I know her heart. She ain't a good girl. Let's bring her in, man. So James Harden goes up to Brooklyn with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And then not a year later, he hasn't gotten enough shine. Now he's not the bottom bitch anymore. He's third in the pecking order.
Well, can you tell people how many minutes did they even play?
They played 16 games together in a year and a half.
Jesus Christ.
The next big three that was going to turn the NBA head upside down played 16 games together. And now, a year later, James Harden has forced his way out of town once again, saying, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. How could it? No. It was Dwight Howard and Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook and Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. It wasn't me.
Now, look, let me tell you something. All right. James Harden was an MVP caliber player. All right. Everybody wanted him. You know, he wanted to go to Brooklyn. And, you know, Brooklyn just didn't work out. But let me tell you something. When you go to Brooklyn, James Harden expected Kyrie Irving to play in these games. He expected KD to play in these games. It's kind of like if I'm dating my girl, I expect for us to have sex 300 days, at least. Something like that. Out of a whole year. Let me get at least 300, right? And that's nothing, right?
That's a lot.
This man, I mean, he barely got the fuck.
Hey, you're a different 30 than me. Listen,
hey.
A cool 200 is fine with me, bro.
Bro, he didn't get 10 days. He didn't get a 10-day. 10. Nothing. They played no minutes together, bro. Kyrie forfeited the whole season by not getting vaccinated. So it's like,
first of all,
I don't blame Harden.
You know when this all went downhill? What the moment was? When Kyrie Irving came back,
right.
And this motherfucker was in the dressing room for, I want to say, the Grizzlies. And he was smudging the room, burning sage in the locker room.
And Phil Jackson.
And James Harden walked in the locker room, and he looked at him like, what the fuck is this motherfucker doing? Are we about to have a seance and meet our dead slave great-grandparents? Is that what's going on here? And Kyrie Irving looked back at him like, you'd never understand. All you do is read white men's books. And that was the end of that.
Facts. Yeah, bro. Kyrie is another level, man. Ben Simmons is going to have problems with him, too.
No.
Now,
wait a minute. No problems. It's going to be way worse than that. Kyrie Irving is going to take Ben Simmons under his wing as an apprentice. Ben Simmons, man who has never taken responsibility once in his life and has always shirked a challenge and has always seeked to do the least that he could do, is finally teaming up with a conspiracy theorist to make Joe Rogan look like he could run for office. If you think Ben Simmons is going to be improving his game,
Who thinks this? Does anyone think this? Does anybody think this? Anybody think he's going to be good?
A lot of people.
In Brooklyn? That shit's stupid, bro. You got two of the biggest dumbasses, two of the biggest team obliterators of all time on one team, bro. That shit's not going to work out, bro. Like, they're going to get sick of Ben in the fucking playoffs when he doesn't want to shoot. You just think he's going to miraculously just start shooting the ball?
Isn't it crazy that the guy who made a fake Twitter account just to talk shit to people and then got outed on social media is the most demure, mature guy out of their superstar trio? Like, he's the most grounded?
Yeah. Well, see, that's what's funny because everybody thought that he was going to be the problem when Brooklyn kind of got
you
together
must have
and
not
shit.
known my friend Kyrie.
He's too sensitive. It's a big ass mess, man. It's a fucking huge mess, bro. But I'm happy to see it. And like I told you in the text, a blockbuster trade like this, I'm getting a new 2K, baby. Every time there's a big trade, I gotta get the new 2K, baby.
NBA sliding doors moment. You're Scooby-Doo in the hallway, and you got multiple doors to pick from. All right? One door is trading 5 picks to get James Harden and letting go of Jared Allen and Karis LeVert. only to get 2 picks and Ben Simmons a year later. The other move is to not get Ben Simmons and to keep Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Jarrett Allen, Karis LeVert, and that white guy on their team that can shoot. Yeah.
Joe Harris?
Which one of those sounds more appealing to you?
I think I'll probably have to take number 1, bro. Give me option number 1. I don't like that number 2 shit. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. You know the second one.
It's like we have 4 more draft picks and Jarrett Allen, who's arguably better than Ben Simmons. I mean, we'll see what Jarrett Allen can do in a playoff series. I've already seen what Ben Simmons can do. And all the people who are selling this Ben Simmons reclamation project pamphlets to me, they're all selling him as light-skinned Draymond Green. But guess what? Ben Simmons thinks of himself as LeBron James, not Draymond Green. It's the same problem that Russell Westbrook has. Remember when he came to Lakers? I was like, hey, man, his first couple games, like, he set screens. He was acting as the roll man. He was connecting to the corner as shooter. Yeah. If he can just accept his role and play as a super talented connector, I mean, the Lakers could really set the league on fire. But he's not used to being a third banana and a connector. Ben Simmons has been the guy since he was in middle school, the number 1 basketball player in his whole country. He was better at 15 years old than grown men, than any person in his whole country. Then he goes to LSU, doesn't make the tournament, number 1 pick anyway, plays on the worst team in the history of basketball, gets a max contract anyway, goes into the playoffs, and denies a fucking dunk at the basket on Trae Young to lose a Game 7 because he shied from the moment. And what happens? He gets rewarded again and lands in an ideal situation in Brooklyn, New York. Not the franchise team in New York, not the Knicks, where everyone's passionate. And if you have a slip up or you have a gaffe, it's leading first take, it's leading undisputed, and it's on front of the New York Post. No, he's playing for the New York Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, who just acquired all their fans 4 years ago, who have no basketball history, who have no standard to hold you to of excellence, who are a bunch of bandwagon, fair weather fans who couldn't care less how you perform on a night-to-night basis. So, you know what, Ben Simmons? Congratulations. You got what you wanted. You'll never have to take a big shot again in your career.
He's not taking any big shots. I like that rant, though. I like that rant, but he's not taking any big shots. This Brooklyn shit's not going to work, bro. You can't just put him with head cases and expect that shit to work. Like, no one on Philly was a head case except for Ben Simmons. He fucked the whole situation up himself by poor play and not shooting at all. Like, by you even saying that he's the light-skinned Draymond is disrespect to Draymond, and I don't even like Draymond. Like,
Draymond is a way higher IQ player.
Yeah, come on, bro. Like, show me in the finals if fucking Ben Simmons can hit 6 out of 7 threes and score 20 points and get 10 rebounds and get 9 assists. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. He's not doing that shit. You're going to do that shit in Utah when Joel Embiid ain't there. But if you got a second player there clogging the post up, you ain't doing shit. You're doing nothing.
I agree with you,
fuck out of here, bro.
I agree with you, bro.
I hate Ben Simmons. And that whole argument between him and Joel Embiid, like, who was the best, that was silly. We're looking back at that like it's stupid. But
hold on. Did anyone actually think Ben Simmons was better than Joel Embiid? Did anybody say that?
A couple years ago? Rookie of the year, Ben Simmons?
Just because he won Rookie of the Year 4 times doesn't mean that he's better than Joel Embiid. I don't know, man. I looked at Joel Embiid in Kansas, and I was like, this guy's the number 1 pick, and he's going to be the best center in the league for the next 12 years. Put it on wax, and I have we both think. I looked at Ben Simmons, and I saw a guy who declined to participate in the NIT. And that hasn't changed. You think, Terry, now that he's playing with Kevin Durant, who's infamous for being the biggest snake in basketball history, leaving his own team when the going got tough to go join up with a bunch of other superstars, a guy who's renowned for his lack of intestinal fortitude, and then Kyrie Irving, who was discarded by LeBron James as an afterthought, who's shown that he couldn't be a winning player in any situation other than when he's riding on the back of LeBron's coattails. Right, and he's delusional.
Keep going.
You think Ben Simmons is going to come into this situation and improve?
Look, I agree with you. Me and you both think Ben Simmons doesn't have a backbone. But with that being said, this is a whole new chapter, bro. He has an opportunity to show that he can do what everyone thought he could do. Now, I'm the guy of the proponent of you showed me what you can do within 4 years. That's who you are.
What is that? Shit. What do you think he can do? When you say show me what we thought you can do, what is that?
Everybody thought he could lead a team and make it to the playoffs.
Oh, you're a funny guy. He is a funny guy, my friend. That Terry DeShazo.
Everybody was loving on him, bro. Come on, man. Everybody was loving him when he won Rookie of the Year. Then the second year, he wasn't that bad. Third year, that's when we started questioning.
He had JJ Redick, and he had that Italian dude on his team.
Yeah, but that's on Philly for getting rid of the shooters. But I will say this. He did show promise in those first 2 years. So, I mean, if he could kind of go back to that and at least give you an attempt of being aggressive going towards the basket. He just became passive after his second year.
Because he's a 50% free throw shooter. And every time he goes to the line, he misses 1 out of 2 and loses further confidence.
Well, shit. I'm going to tell you what. He ain't been playing for a long time, so what you think he been doing? All he can do is shoot. Fuck more drills you going to do.
No.
Just shoot.
Listen, Ben Simmons.
He better be shooting 65% from the free throw line.
You want to be a successful player?
When he gets back.
Go watch Magic Johnson's tape from the finals in his rookie year. That's what the fuck you need to do.
Yeah,
that's your best version of yourself. Is rookie Magic Johnson in the finals, a playmaking 5.
Playmaking 5, baby. Hey, when's the next game for the Nets?
Bro. I did a billion hours of research
tomorrow,
included when the next game is. But let me ask you this
tomorrow.
Or hold on. So we talked Simmons fit in New Jersey, or rather in Brooklyn. We didn't talk Harden's fit in Philly at all. Do you think Philadelphia is a better team now than they were yesterday? And what do you think about their prospects with Harden going forward?
Well, here's the thing. I would have loved it, of course, if they would have kept like Seth Curry, you know, and they also got rid of a good rebounder off the bench in Andre Drummond.
Who gives a fuck? Is Andre Drummond going to be able to play in the playoffs? No.
I mean, he can replace Joel Embiid.
Replace him doing what?
As a bench player.
Replace him? Do you know who's leading the league in turnover percentage, Terry? Yes.
Andre Drummond?
Right?
Jesus. Stop giving him the ball then. The fuck?
He can't do anything.
Look, they're trying to accommodate for this dude.
It's like, I'm not putting a guy in a game who literally can only do one thing and is trash at everything else. It's a good thing they got him off the team. Get him out of here. He sucks.
No. That's on your boy. Your boy that we fucking both hate. That's on Nurse Rivers. That's on fucking Nurse Rivers. You the goddamn coach. You don't fucking call plays for this dude. Are you fucking crazy? This motherfucker's calling plays for him like, yo, post him up. No, what the fuck? Don't accommodate him. Joel Embiid's a beast. You back him up. You're not Joel. You go fuck yourself. You do everything you can do, but I'm not throwing it to you in the post. We've seen that for 7 years. You can't do it. Anyways, besides the point. I don't like that they lost those two guys. I don't like that shit at all. But I will say, I still think the fit is going to be better, man. Because that pick and roll, James Harden is about to make Joel Embiid so much better. And I remember you and me were having the conversation. You said, like, Dwight Howard. You know, the comparison. James didn't like that. But Joel's not Dwight, bro. Joel is in the same vein as a fringe Hall of Fame big that can dominate games.
First of all, Joel Embiid is not a fringe Hall of Famer. He'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's what
scored 0 points. I remember
people
that.
who win MVPs end up being first ballot Hall of Famers, and that's what Embiid. Watch, check again at the end of this year, Terry. Okay.
All right. I think he'll win this year because
last year if he hadn't gotten hurt. And you know I'm the biggest Jokic guy in the world, but
Jokic is a beast, but Joel's a monster. What do you think? What do you think? Go ahead.
It's a talent upgrade, obviously, because you swapped in a 0 for James Harden, who, if he isn't a top 10 player anymore, is still a top 25 player by any measure. James Harden is. My problem with James Harden is the defensive fit. What is James Harden's biggest skill on defense?
Loose
He has
balls,
great hands. But I'd say
like
switching on the bigger players in the post, being able to hold his own against small forwards and power forwards. He's very switchable. Facts. Like when you run that pick and roll, he can just take the bigger player and you don't have to worry about him getting posted up. Philly does not play a switching scheme.
That's because he's thick.
They play a drop scheme. They want to funnel everything to Embiid and then have him block your shot at the rim. That's their scheme. So how do you now merge the best things that Embiid does on defense, which is covering the space of two men and erasing mistakes, with the only thing that Harden can do, which is stopping bigger players? Because Harden damn sure can't stay in front of anybody as far as guards in space in a pick and roll. And so now you have to marry two different concepts that are completely dissimilar for y'all to be, for one of these two players to flourish. And I think more than offense, I think they'll figure the pick and roll out. I think they'll figure the two-man game out. These are two of the top 10 most talented offensive players in the league. My offensive fits are not that big, or my questions are not that big. But defensively, it's how are you going to make these two guys coexist? Because what you don't want is an all-switching scheme where now Embiid is guarding on the perimeter and Harden is on the block. And what also you don't want is to stick with the drop coverage scheme where now James Harden is being forced in defensive rotations that he's never bothered to learn his entire career.
Well, let me tell you what's going to happen, bro. And you broke it down fucking beautifully. You did. Congratulations to you. I love it. One word, rejuvenation. All right? We've seen it with a lot of guys. When you get out of a situation you hate and you go to a situation that's promising as fuck in Philly, nah. Don't even fake on it.
How many times are we going to pull the rejuvenation card with James Harden? Terry? How many times?
Bro, he looked great. Did he not?
He's had the perfect situation.
Did he not look great in Brooklyn?
His situation, his whole career. He's had the perfect situation. I'm tired of being the third banana. Let me go to Houston and get my own team. Oh, Dwight Howard's posting up too much. Let's get Clint Capella in here because all he wants to do is set screens and dunk the ball. Oh, Clint Capella is too much of a vertical spacer. Now let's play with 5 out. We're all shooters. I don't have enough space. Let's bring PJ Tucker in here and make him play center for me. Oh, after we make PJ Tucker guard fucking centers all year, I'll go demand a trade to the New York Nets in a situation that's perfect for me too. Oh, wait, Kyrie Irving can't play 30% of the games. I'm going to force my way to even. Terry, there have been 6 or 7 perfect situations for James Harden, and he hasn't gotten past the second round in any of them. I refuse to believe this line of logic that he's suddenly going to get in a honeymoon period and now everything's going to align because he's in a new situation. His whole career's been new situations.
Look, I'm going to get this over with quick. OKC didn't want to go over the luxury tax. Harden, gone. Boom. Houston. Fuck Houston. They lost all their players. Chris Paul's old as shit. They traded him away. Why would I play there with fucking him and Russell Westbrook?
What's Chris Paul doing now? What's Chris Paul doing now?
That ain't on him.
Oh, it is. That's not on him. Got Chris Paul out of town for Russell Westbrook.
Did they go to the Western Conference Finals with him?
No.
Did they almost go to the finals?
They didn't almost go to the finals
in Houston,
because he
Chris
went
Paul
fucking
and James
2
Harden.
for 11, and their team went 0 for 30 in threes. That's why.
Chris Paul broke his hand.
And James Harden still was like, get him out of town. I need Russell Westbrook. That's what James Harden said.
Where you going? Yeah. But anyways.
Listen, man. The new situation We've seen it over and over and over again. You can't get the benefit of the doubt anymore, bro. You've been in jail 6 times.
Yeah.
You shot that guy.
Look, man, all I'll say is this. When he left Houston and when he went to Brooklyn, did he not play like an MVP?
How long was that period?
Did he not? That was a majority of the season until he got hurt. Until he messed his hamstring
how long
up. He
was
was
that
MVP
period?
caliber.
3 months?
Don't lie to me.
This is what you're going to hang your hat on. 3 months out of a 12-year career.
He's going to be great, man.
Are you in punishment or something? Why are you being so fucking quiet right now?
I just told you he's going to be great.
You sound like the motherfucker from, it was like, it puts the lotion in the bucket. It puts the lotion on his skin.
I'm smooth. Smooth voice.
All right, Leatherface. Let's talk about your guy. He broke your heart when they traded from the New York Knicks. You couldn't be happier to see him get traded now for a cup of boiled peanuts. Kristaps Porzingis, he's been moved to Washington, D.C. for the rights to Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans. Terry, the Mavs traded Porzingis, who is the best player in this deal, along with the second-round pick for the rights to Dinwiddie and Bertans. Can you make it make sense?
Makes no sense, bro. Fucking Dallas. Luka must have fucking hated this guy. Luka must have hated him, bro. It had to be Luka hate because there's no reason why you fucking give away Porzingis, who was playing pretty well this season. Like we can't say he wasn't playing pretty well this season. He was playing okay.
He's pretty good. Career high PER.
I would say this was his best year in Dallas so far, and he wasn't really hurt a lot this year either. So it's like
playing pretty good defense
that's all Luka.
Too.
I think Luka hates him. I think him and Luka squared up in the locker room, and then he was like, "Hey, get this kid out of here. He just beat my ass. Get him out."
I don't think Porzingis would beat Luka in a fight. I don't think so.
Well, what do you think Dallas was thinking actually with this trade? Because I can't.
It literally makes no logical sense, right? Why would you trade the best player and attach a pick to get bit parts who have not flourished in their current situation? The only explanation I have for this is that they're trying to split Porzingis' contract into like more movable parts. And so having 2 different guys whose money adds up to his gives you more flexibility than having one guy that makes $40 million. That is the only explanation that I can come up here. Because Bertans is making $20 million. He's going to make $80 million to be Steve Novak. Okay? Spencer Dinwiddie hasn't been good yet. A single season in the NBA. No. He's not been an average player. Somehow, he's talking all these.
Nah, I mean, he was good. He tore his ACL.
When was he good?
And that was it.
When was he good?
He was straight.
When was he
I'm not saying he was great. He was a nice.
No, he wasn't. Look at his like effective field goal percentage, his turnover percentage, his on-off. He's a ball hog who takes bad shots. And then he went to the Wizards. And he went to the Wizards, and he was like,
"Who cares?
You know, these guys they don't respond to leadership. Like I came down here, I tried to lead them, I gave all these great locker room speeches, and nobody wants to hear it." Yes, Spencer Dinwiddie is because you were a second-round pick, and you got cut by the Pistons. That's why.
Pre-ACL, he was actually decent. I get what you're saying, but pre-ACL, he was actually a decent player. I will say this. We keep talking about Zion and his situation in New Orleans, and if they fuck it up even more, he's leaving. Dallas, you keep fucking up. I mean, we'll talk about this. Get Luka out of Dallas, bro. Free Luka, bro.
Hold on.
I'm just saying. Free Luka. They keep bullshitting down there. Jason Kidd's the coach. He don't know what the fuck he doing.
Terry.
Free Luka.
Could we reunite?
Never thought about that.
The 2 draft day brothers who were traded for each other?
Oh,
Terry.
Here you go.
Terry. Would that not be the story of a lifetime? Luka and Trae Young once traded for each other, They support each other the entire time through their careers. Last night, Luka dropped 51. Guess who was tweeting about it, Terry? Trae Young. Man,
your boy, Trae.
That boy Luka nasty.
Nice Trae.
You get the two of those coming together in the A. I tell you what, referees won't know what to do with all the complaining that's going to be going on by those two. Trae Young, every other play is going like this. Luka's refusing to run back up the court. Yeah. He's chatting up the female referees, trying to slide a middle finger down their ass crack. Man, that would be Hollywood basketball in Atlanta.
I would. Hey, I'm telling you,
my only other thought about Dallas is this. Do they think Jalen Brunson is out of there? Is that why they traded for Dinwiddie? Because they think Brunson is going to be like, hey, this is cool, guys. I'm going to go play for a real contender.
I don't know. Does he have like a
contract's up this
summer? Contract up or something?
He's an unrestricted free agent because he was a second-round pick, so they don't have his bird rights. And he's in line for somewhere between $15 to $20 million a year. And keep in mind, they traded what's his face? A big reason of this Porzingis trade. They just signed Dorian Finney-Smith to like $100 million extension. Yeah, it is. That's Dorian Finney-Smith can fucking hoop. He's a hooper. He's what everyone thought Robert Covington was going to be. A guy who can actually stop you and hit threes.
Yeah, true. But I don't know about the Jalen Brunson thing. Brunson is a way better player than Dinwiddie, so if they do that, that's just another reason for Luka to leave. That's another reason for Luka to leave. I mean, if they keep fucking up, you can't you traded decent parts away to get Porzingis, and then you trade that away to get nothing.
I don't get it either, bro. Honestly, I wouldn't have minded seeing Porzingis in Atlanta. I think he'd be an intriguing fit as a floor spacing center who could also protect the rim. Are you telling me they wouldn't have taken Bogdanovich instead of these two lackeys?
Probably any other trade I could think in the NBA would be better than this shit, man. It sucks that we didn't really get to see Kristaps play with like a true point guard, like somebody who can actually pass the fucking ball. Like if
they're European, they're white, they vacation together during the off season. Latvia and Slovenia have to be kind of close, right? They're close. These guys know each other.
Yeah, nah.
It's like, no, they hate each other. They play each other in the Olympics. They actually probably had a civil war with somebody's fucking uncle against somebody else's.
They probably unfollowed each other on Twitter.
Right? The only person who likes both of them is the ghost of Drazen Petrovic. Hey, speaking of Drazen Petrovic, Terry,
but I don't know.
The Sacramento Kings finally made a fucking good move. I do think so.
You think so?
They said Buddy Hield,
go ahead,
Tyrese Halliburton, Marvin Bagley, get the fuck out of here. We only have room for all-stars and future all-stars. More specifically, we only have room for white foreign players, Domantas Sabonis and Dante DiVincenzo. The big ragu is that
he's American.
His name is Dante DiVincenzo. Terry, read a book. You ignorant. Fuck.
Galboon.
Hey, so listen. The Kings now, right? They got a starting five: De'Aaron Fox, Dante DiVincenzo, Harrison Barnes, Sabonis, and Rashawn Holmes. I don't hate it.
I'm sleeping on that. I'm sleeping. I'm taking a long nap. Hey, put me in a coma real quick. When I come back, Sacramento's still not going to make the playoffs. If I wake up, I'm like, we still in 1988?
Right? We got to build the bench out next year, but that starting five ain't bad. Those pieces fit together.
So are they breaking the streak with that starting five of their non-playoffs?
Yes. If they keep the starting five and they get two guys who can score on the bench.
No bench. They got no bench.
No, not this year. Next year. I'm talking about
who's coming to them?
This is not a Sacramento.
I was talking about this year.
They know that. They're like, if we do anything,
okay.
it'll be to lose in the play-in tournament. That's as big as our aspirations go.
I mean, they're only 2 games back from the Pelicans.
Going forward,
the Pelicans ain't even trying to win.
I don't mind that starting 5 and how that fits together. Fox, the speedy on-ball guy, DiVincenzo, the gritty defensive guy who can do a little bit of everything, shoot, handle the ball, defend, get to the cup. Harrison Barnes is a big 3 who can guard 4s, can hit 3s, can post up smaller players. Sabonis as the secondary playmaker, running the offense through the nail. And then Rashawn Holmes as a pick-and-roll partner and the owner of one of the best floaters in the entire NBA. The 5 pieces fit together.
This is about a Sacramento. As a Sacramento team, you get no clear, fucking superstar.
Sabonis is a 3-time All-Star. He's 26 years old.
I want a superstar. He better somebody in Sacramento's got to give me 25 and 10.
Don't do this just because it's Sacramento. Be like, everything they do is stupid.
Bro.
If any other team in the league acquired a 25-year-old All-Star for the price of a guy who's never made the team, that you have 2 backups in his position, they're just as good as he is, you'd be like, this is a great move. But just because it's the Kings and because Chris Webber's still in the Hall of Fame, you want to hold a grudge. Okay, Terry, hold a grudge.
Bro, I'm not holding a grudge. You gave away Tyrese Halliburton.
He's not Michael Jordan.
Okay. He's going to be – shut up. Let me talk. Tyrese Halliburton, who was looking really fucking good, you gave him away. You decided to stay with De'Aaron Fox. He can't pass for shit. Who's your point guard? Don't know. Let me finish. You gave away Buddy Hield, knockdown shooter, decent defender, and also was a rotation guy that came off the bench for you guys. You weren't starting him because you want to start your young guards. All right, cool, whatever. You gave away two good players, 2 solid players. And you get back fucking Sabonis, bro.
A great player. And DiVincenzo, who's better than Buddy Hield. He's good.
No, he's not. No, he's not. DiVincenzo's not better than Buddy Hield. Look, man, we can disagree. I can mark my words next year if they're a really good team and win 45 games.
You realize Dante DiVincenzo started on the team that won the NBA championship. You realize that, right?
I don't like guys that tore their ACLs.
No. You realize the team that won the NBA championship, he was a starter on that team.
He tore his ACL. He's not the same. He's not
the
same dude.
He tore his fucking straight
ACL.
Be giving up picks just to get him, giving up players to get him. No, because he's
fucking stupid.
Look up his numbers now. No.
Who's the best? Who's the best?
All right, Mr. Big Stuff. Look up DiVincenzo this year.
Who's the best player that tore their ACL? Name the one guy that you're like,
Adrian
after the ACL tear, he's been a monster. That's football, basketball. Name one basketball player that tore his ACL and you're like, oh yeah, he's been a
Wesley Matthews.
Not a fucking single person. You can't name him. Nope. Trash. Fucking trash. Shell of himself.
Oh,
he was way better.
Klay Thompson.
I'm gonna look up his numbers.
Can we give him a month and a half, Terry? No. Okay.
Nah.
Andre Kirilenko.
If you cleared to play,
Miles
you need
Swift.
To play better. All right, 7 points, bruh. 8. He's got an 8 PER. Dante DiVincenzo. Shut the fuck up forever.
You gotta look at advanced statistics, Terry. Not the surface level advanced statistics.
He's only played 17
You gotta
games.
dig deep to find any type of numbers that's gonna support my argument. Okay, you gotta go to advanced box plus minus. You gotta go to value over replacement player. Those are the type of joints you gotta go to.
Bro, do me a favor and sew your asshole shut because you're talking out of it right now.
He hasn't had a great year this year,
butthole.
but this is his 4th year in the league, and he's been a starter for 3 years on a championship caliber team. That's miles better than anything that's going on in the 13th best team for the West. He's played in meaningful games. All right, what meaningful games has Harrison Barnes played in since he was traded to the Kings? I'll wait.
0.
DiVincenzo has contributed in meaningful games for a team that won the championship. I realize he got hurt. I realize he wasn't on the court in June when they did that. But was he a key piece of them getting the number 1 seed and getting into the playoffs?
I agree with everything you're saying, but not the same Dante, bro. 8 PER is not doing it for me, bro. 8. Okay, you were talking all this shit, and then I looked it up, and you just shut the fuck up.
I'll keep going.
All right?
Listen, man. He's got 2 white boys on his corner.
Garbage.
All right, he's got Grayson Allen on one side. He's got Pat Connaughton on the other. He's looking around like, okay,
Grayson's not.
Who am I? What is my identity then? Okay, I thought I was the white man who can't jump.
Black.
I thought I was the big swagoo. And now I'm looking around. I see another white guy who's in the fucking dunk contest. I look around. And I see another guy who's taking out Alex Caruso for half the season, not even getting suspended. He's the toughest guy in the league.
White on white crime.
Come on, man. It's a crisis of identity.
Look, man. Before the ACL tear, he was a beast. I will agree with you on that. I loved him. He was a really good player.
Oh, I got one. I got one for you.
If he turns it around,
bang, boom.
Don't say Rudy Gay. No. Don't say Rudy Gay.
Sean Livingston.
Mitch Richmond.
Terry, did I not come over to your parents' house in high school and witness Sean Livingston as a member of the Cavaliers jumping high as shit after ACL surgery to block LeBron James? Tell me I'm lying. Tell the people I'm lying.
There's one. There's one player. And you know how long it took for him to get good? It was another 4 seasons after that shit.
On my
and he changed teams 5 times.
I found one.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Listen, man, if his ACL, let's say it takes the end of this season for him to get right. If he can get back to that form that he was before, he was a good two-way player. He was a solid starting 2. Those are 5 pieces that fit together. And for the Kings, I haven't said that in a very long time. So even if it's just a golf clap, I think the Kings deserve some type of recognition for not totally putting their foot in their ass in this window like they have done every other year for the last 20 years.
On wax, $10. They won't be a top 6 seed next year. On wax, $10. Bet me.
They'll make the playoffs. I'll bet you that. Next year they'll make the playoffs.
I think they're gonna make the playoffs, but they're not gonna be a 7 seed.
So we'll say 8 seed. That's what we talk about. Hey, this is my bet. Listen, if you want to do or not, all right. The bet is they make the playoffs. That's the bet.
Nah.
All right. Well, then it's a good trade because they haven't made the playoffs in fucking 20 years.
Motherfucker, you said with the roster that they have, with the 5 dudes, the starters, they can be a really good fucking team.
Terry, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Terry. When's the last time the Kings made the playoffs?
Never. They don't ever make the playoffs. Even with Chris Webber, they fucking wipe those out just like Michigan's wins.
If they made the playoffs, is that not a good move?
Trash.
Is that not a step in the right direction? Can we not give the Kings a little bit of credit, man? They got better. They got better, Terry.
Hey, man. No. Nah, don't keep giving me shit and telling me it's not shit. You be like, nah, that's not shit. That's something else. That's that gourmet shit, bro.
It's garnish shit. Out of here, it's what we sprinkle on top.
Bro, that's what they're doing to the fans. They're like, yo, look, I know we fucked up for the past 15 years, but this year we got it. We definitely did it this year. We got our boy Sabonis. You know, we washed him up. We made him clean. We gave him a hair gel that makes him look way better than he was. His Tinder pictures don't look like himself. He looks great. Fuck out of here, bro. Stop lying to me. I'm out, bro. Shaq owns the Kings. They're not. Well,
you may be out on Sacramento.
Next.
But I know you're even more out on Boston. You hate the Celtics.
Wait, before we talk about them, do they still have Dennis Schroeder? Hey, I'm out on the Celtics until they get rid of him. They better wave his ass. That motherfucker is a waste. Hey, he's fucking them up.
What Kevin Garnett said about Charlie Villanueva.
Cancer. Dude, it's all his fault, but tell me about the trades we can talk about.
They got rid of Romeo Langford, somebody else who sucks, and some pick down the line. But basically, Terry, what the Celtics have done is went all in on defense. And let me tell you, this defensive lineup they can throw out there now, their best lineup, is pretty hellacious. They got Derek White and Marcus Smart at the guard positions. Brown and Tatum at the 3 and 4, and then Robert Williams, the Time Lord, at the 5.
And Robert Williams has been playing a lot
great
this season, right? He hasn't had like a significant injury like he usually does, right?
And
like,
Brad Stevens isn't coaching. He finally has a black coach, so he didn't have to earn his trust, over 45 games to prove that he's better than Daniel Tice.
Nah, I've always liked Robert Williams games, dude. He's averaging 2.2 blocks a game. My man's a beast, bro. He's an absolute beast. But he kept spraining his ankle.
Hey,
that's not.
I don't know where you're supposed to score against this team.
What's the dude's name?
Of White, Smart, Brown, Tatum, and Time Lord. Like, I don't know how they're going to score either, Terry, but I know you're not going to. And I know for a team, especially like, let's just say the Philadelphia 76ers. This is the last type of team that you want to play in the first round of playoffs when Harden and Embiid have only played together for 30 games. And now you play a team that can switch 1 through 4 and is solid at every position defensively. Whew. The Celtics got better too, man.
Let me ask you a question. They did get better, but what's their ceiling now?
No.
Are they contenders?
They're making somebody's life hard. That's what they are.
Let me ask you another question. Is Marcus Smart still shooting more than 10 shots a game?
If they try to go past the first round,
because if he's shooting more than 10, I'm out. If he's shooting less than 10, I think they're actually a really scary Miami Heat looking team, to be honest with you. Completely bubble Miami, I can actually see that.
Yeah, bro.
Scrappy defense, bro. And then Schroeder. Wait, they still got Schroeder?
You know who they really need to get on the buyout market, Terry? And this will change everything for them. Goran Dragic.
Straight jacket. Ooh, yeah. He just got wasted away, man. I don't know what happened to him.
He was like, I don't want to play in Canada. From Europe, I came to the United States. I have no interest going to a third country, man. If they can if the Celtics can get Goran Dragic with that squad they got right there, that's a team that you don't want to play going to the playoffs. And,
that's big facts.
And you know who else is a team that got a little scarier in the East? Our Charlotte Hornets. They picked on Montrezl.
I don't know about that Montrezl Harrell.
They gave away Kai Jones and Vernon Carey. Or no, they gave away Vernon Carey and Ish Smith.
Here's the thing. I think they can beat almost anybody except for the Sixers. Because Montrezl Harrell is still proven that he can't guard a true center. And that's his only downfall. He's a good player, but he can't guard true centers. That's it. It's a good pickup and all, good hustle. They solved some of the rebounding problems,
the Hornets,
but they still can't.
Y'all should have done this in June. Montrezl Harrell is a player that helps you win regular season games, not playoff games. He's a 6'6" center. He's going to get absolutely demolished no matter who he goes up against in the East.
Facts.
And Terry, what is Montrezl Harrell's biggest calling card? Toughness. Scrappiness. Yeah, exactly. Playing harder than everybody else. But in the playoffs, everyone plays hard. So that's not important anymore. That's not an advantage. Now you're just a 6'6" fucking center who can't shoot.
No, that's true. It's not a perfect fit, but it solves some problems, but not everything. That's all. I don't have much to say about it. He's not that good.
Well, the Hornets surprised me, man.
This happened 3 years ago.
Surprised me because they have a deep team, bro. Like their top 6 is nobody who like really sucks ass. You know what I mean? Especially now that they made this move for Montrezl Harrell. I mean, they got LaMelo Ball. They got Bridges. They got Gordon Hayward. They got Terry Rozier. They got Kelly Oubre. And now they got Montrezl Harrell. That's 6 guys who are at least NBA starter quality. They don't suck. Like, none of those guys suck. And they went from playing fucking Cody Zeller and PJ Washington and Juan Erna Gomez.
Yeah.
Like, those guys sucked.
No, that's true.
At least these guys don't suck.
But they don't have any depth, bro. There's no depth. They're like one injury away from being a really shit team. Like, they're one injury away, and that's a problem. And then, people be like, you can say that about any team. No, like, their shit is, if they lose one of those rotation dudes, they're completely screwed. I see that you agree with me because your head
pushed my whole screen in. I agree with you so much.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing that happened last year when LaMelo messed up his wrist. They dropped really far down. Like they dropped like 6 or 7 games, like really fast, quickly, and they were done. They were out the playoffs that fast.
Yeah, man.
So I don't know.
Ultimately, a lot of Hornets fans are really, really excited right now. Like, this is the missing piece that's going to put them over the top. I'd say pump the brakes. Pump the brakes a little bit because what you're missing is defense. And Montrezl Harrell is 6'6".
Yeah.
And come playoff time,
he's not
Bismack Biyombo plays as hard as Montrezl Harrell. Okay, so it doesn't matter.
True. Hey, look, I got a few more minutes.
Fair enough.
I gotta get out of here.
So, Terry, my biggest takeaway from all this type of stuff, or let me just say this about the Bucks. I think before I say that, the Bucks, I think, rolled the dice because they traded for Serge Ibaka, but it gave up a lot of wing players. And the day after they traded for Ibaka, they got rid of DiVincenzo, they got rid of Rodney Hood, and they got rid of Semi Ojeleye. And the day after that happened, Pat Connaughton broke his hand. So name me the wings on the Bucks.
The wings on the Bucks go round and round. We got Middleton.
No.
Giannis,
He's playing center. Nice try.
Fuck.
So this is the team that I picked to win the NBA championship this year. They're active wings. The active players that they can now call on, Terry, are Chris Middleton, Grayson Allen, and Jordan Nwora. And that's it.
What about Bobby
He's playing
Portis?
center.
Too tall?
He's the Brook Lopez replacement.
Damn. Oh, what about that?
So that makes my point, Terry. If your solution to how we're going to match up with Jimmy Butler in the playoffs is Thanasis Antetokounmpo, suddenly to me the Bucks look like the biggest losers of this entire trade deadline. And they went from the team that I picked before the season to go back to the finals as a team that now I have a lot more doubts about. And that wing rotation of 2 white guys and Jordan Nwora doesn't exactly inspire confidence when you have to go against the Kawhi Leonards, the LeBron Jameses, the Jimmy Butlers of the world.
Well, I mean, let's see, if they can get somebody in the bio market or something like that. So there's still that, but you are right, bro. It's not a championship wing type of situation they got going over there in Milwaukee, bro.
That could cost them. It could end up costing them. The rest of the Eats, like in 24 hours, just got a lot better. The Philadelphia and Brooklyn both got better just from making that trade. Milwaukee and Miami didn't make drastic changes, but they're both in strong position at the top. When they're healthy, Chicago with Zach LaVine looks formidable. Cleveland just added Karis LeVert, and the Cavs, defense. Their defense is one of the best in the league. And then the Hornets improved their big man rotation. The Hawks are 10-5 in their last 15 games. The East looks 10 teams deep.
I think they are, bro. It's a problem. It's a problem.
It was a problem for me too, trying to figure out who's going to win this shit. Because initially I said the Bucks, and I like to stick to my guns. But after reassessing the Grayson Allen, Jordan Nwora situation, I was like, I think I may have to go back to the drawing board and see what's out there. So, Terry.
Yeah. So,
well, let me walk you through it. I decided I wasn't going to select it myself. I'm going to let 2K decide. Okay? And no, Terry, I'm not using your 2K19 on the Xbox One. I'm using 2K22 on the Series X, the premier console, if you know what I mean. So what I did, Terry, is I took the top 8 teams in the East. I took the top 6 players from their rotation, their starting 5 plus their 6th man. Then I averaged those 6 players to form a composite score that would tell me which of the teams in the East had the strongest overall team according to 2K, since clearly I don't know how to think. So we'll go in alphabetical order, Terry. The 76ers, and this is updated after making the trade deadline moves. The 76ers, after acquiring James Harden, they averaged 83.6 points out of 100 among their starting 6. The Bucks averaged 84.1 points out of 100 out of their starting 6. So 0.5 better than the Sixers still after the update, according to 2K.
Okay.
The Bulls averaged 83.1 out of 100. So far the lowest. The Cavs averaged 82.5. The Hawks would average 82.2 if we went by 2K's ratings. But if we went by mine, somebody who actually knows the Hawks, Terry, they would still only average 83.0. The Heat average 83.7. The Hornets, 82.3. And the Nets, 84.7. So what can we learn from these numbers, Terry? Well, the Nets have far and away the highest average. 84.7. Yep. They're a full 0.6 points higher than the Bucks, who are the second highest ranked team in the game. Despite their wing deficiencies, they still got the 3 All-Stars and Bobby Portis and Serge Ibaka. They're the next highest. After that, it's not the 76ers with James Harden, Terry. It's the Heat.
Hey, Heat look good.
By 0.1, baby. By 0.1. 83.7 to 83.6.
So pretty much it's kind of saying what we all think. The East is tough as fuck, and it's going to be hard to figure out.
So this is my point, Terry. The worst team in the whole conference, or in all the playoff seedings, the Hornets, their average is the 82.3. The highest average is at 84.7. Between the best and the worst in the playoffs is only a 2-point difference. And what we're literally talking about between the difference between the 76ers and the Heat, between 2 and 3 in the East, is 0.1 of a point. So I say all that to say,
damn, dude.
God damn, we go hell of a playoffs this year in the Eastern Conference, Barry. And I still have no idea who the fuck I'm going to pick.
Yeah. It's going to be an exciting year. I'm glad we got to go over everything, but that's my time.
Thanks, Terry. You go back to your cornucopia of wild animals and gaggle of females that you have in your living room. I hope that you can do your best to wrangle them both. Until then, thank you all so much for joining us on the Habitual Line Steppers podcast for our NBA trade deadline recap. Yes, sir.
Trade deadline, baby.
Make sure to watch our Super Bowl clip so y'all know what to talk about at your Super Bowl party this weekend.
Yeah.
Don't sound like a dumbass. You can pick up all the talking points you need just from us. And don't forget, I have an article coming out next week about FIFA's corruption and why the president needs to go. Good talking to you, big dog. Keep stepping across the line with us. Habitually.
Peace, man.
He's a habitual line stepper.
Thank you for listening to our podcast this evening. Thank you. You're far too kind.